Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy. Welcome to Grassroots Online. I'm your host, Tommy Javor, and once again, rejoined by the footy chicken bone, Lisa, right?
Yes, very funny, thank you. It wasn't funny at the time and I was damn near choking, but...
But you lived. And,
I did live to tell the tale.
So tell me, was it a Heimlich manoeuvre that saved you from death?
No, just a lot of coughing. And just for the record, it wasn't a great big massive bone. I do chew my food, thank you very much. It was that little, what do they call it, pin bone? Along the bone. It was like a little cartilagey thing. And it wasn't very nice, but
so,
now I'm all good.
And it just, the passage cleared, obviously. Well, no. It wasn't the Heimlich that broke it?
No, it actually was stuck there and I had to go to hospital.
Oh, well,
and then they made me drink lots of Coke because there was still a splinter in
You know what they should have made you drink? West End.
Well, yes, there you go. Anyway, enough about that. Lots happening in the world of South Australian Amateur League football this week. And we'll start off with a bit of around the grounds, shall we? Why don't we start the Greyhound Racing SA Division 1? I understand you got some fantastic footage from a day that we talked a lot about last week. Well, yes, that's true. So let's go and have a look at some footage of Broadview and Goodwood Saints. Yep. And also Walkerville versus Prince Alfred Old Collegians. So, and just on that footage, obviously, Goodwood's awful kicking seemed to get them over the line. What did they kick, 8-21? 8-21-69. Yep. So getting them over the line against Broadies there. So that's a bit of bad luck for Broadies. I think they just can't seem to win a trick at the moment. Yeah, it's not often 69 will get the job done, but it was enough in this case. 8 goals did do the trick, and it was a huge game because it sees Goodwood, after 15 rounds, they are now in the 5. They certainly are now. Div 2, once again, where there was another upset, and hence I have no club song this week, thank you very much, where Prince Alfred Old Collegians upset the Cats by the very minor 2-point margin, which has really spoilt the Cats' run into the finals. It certainly has. 2 wins in a row for Prince Alfred, of course knocking off Portland last week, and now Walkerville, and just a sneaky chance. If they keep winning, big things can still happen for the Reds. Yeah, it sure can. Now, in Div 3, I actually said a couple of weeks ago that Salisbury had the toughest run home, but they just keep managing to win, and last week they did over Mitcham. Yeah, a bit of mail on that one. Mitcham actually 34 points up in the 3rd quarter, and Mitcham came home with a wet sail, and again, another game they needed to win. A lot of these teams floating around on 6-7 wins. That may take 10 wins to get in this year. Absolutely. In these divisions that are very even, and yeah, well, Salisbury certainly got the job done. And Kilburn, the Chick Boom train, 10 in a row, absolutely braining Smosh West Lakes, but Lisa would be remiss of me not to move up to the score in the Payneham game. Not to talk about Payneham, but to talk about one of my good mates, the Situation, Nick Jolly. Just bagged a lazy 8 and moves one ahead of me in the goal kicking. Good on you, Nicky, well done, love. Now, Div 4, Plimpton, again, caused an upset this week, and actually now a bit of a finals roughie. After defeating Golden Grove, and I will say they are injury ravaged. They are absolutely ravaged with injuries at the moment. Golden Grove is who you speak of? Yes, absolutely. Taking away nothing from Plimpton though, and Vander Hart kicked 6, so well done there. And I think there is a bit of a sniff that one Jay Smith might be coming back to play in the A grade next week for the Red Dogs. So. A sniff about Smith? Jimmy Smith. Interesting as well, Lisa, just for those of you that like a good West End stat. But let's not forget, last time these two teams met, Plimpton were 1-6. Yes. So they're making a real charge at it. They sure are. What division are we on to now, Lise? That would be Division 5. Division 5, of course. Division 5 is the home of one of my favourite coaches, Matt Damon, Shane Bullock, home of the Kenilworth football clubs, doing good things. Again, another team pushing for finals, and they needed to win on the weekend. They needed a big win, and they needed to teach another club a lesson. So they went out and they smacked around. Who did they smack around? Hope Valley. Hope Valley. The Valley of Hope. Tell us all about it, Lise. Do I have to? Sorry, Hope Valley. You know, I actually love a lot of you guys, you're my mates, but I like giving it to her. Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to thank Kenilworth for inviting us to their training run on the weekend. We really appreciate it. She's doing very well, by the way. We were all... Now, look, I don't often publicly speak about my own club, but it's possibly the worst game of football that Hope Valley has played in the 4 years that I've been there. to say that we were not very good is being nice, and the only positive that I saw come out of the day was the fact that we actually kicked more goals than points for the first time this year. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yep.
Let's move on to Div 6. On that note, Colonel Light Gardens surprised the more fancy Blackfriars, and they had a big 51-point win over them with Timmy Evans, and not the great Port Adelaide Timmy Evans.
50-year-old Timmy Evans.
And Emma Wood, both kicking 4 apiece there for the cheerleaders.
Yeah, doing good things there, and obviously we actually haven't mentioned, I don't think, Lisa, in this take, this may not be our first take of this, that we are doing a review later on of the finals and how they're shaping up with 3 rounds to go. And Division 6 is the one division where I don't see an outright dead set clear favourite. I know Woody South are 12-3, but I just think there's a lot of teams that will still have their eyes on the prize in this division.
Absolutely. Now, in Division 7, no surprises for me there. I think that's pretty stock standard results, but do just want to make mention of Sean Chambers and Nat McDonald of Tea Tree Gully and Mitchell Park, respectively, for both kicking 10 in their respective games last week, and also Damien Pont for Gullies Magoos, who kicked 11 as well. So well done to those blokes.
Obviously, recently, at least, we had the great Luke and Nate debate, Luke and Nat as it may be, and I guess if that debate will be solved when one of them gets to 100 first, and I reckon we called it here about 15 weeks ago. That in round 18 this year, what do we got? We got Nat is on 81.
81 goals.
Needing 19 goals playing the Crabs in round 18. I think we might have to get a camera down there and just see how great is Nat.
We might. How great is Nat.
Yeah.
Now, just something different. I'm going to do the milestones now because we've got something a bit special coming up later on. And last week we had 3 blokes, all 100 gamers. So congratulations to our dear friend Bruno Rocker from the Moors and Lakes Football Club. Played 100 games, as well as Brad Larson from the Hope Valley Football Club. We know him as Squiddy or Squiddy Franklin. And also Matty Davidson, Matty from the North Haven Football Club. He also played his 100th game last week. And this week we've got a big one from the Spider-Men.
Huge one. One of the hardest men I've ever played against.
His name may be Peter Walker.
Peter Walker, or Budgie as they called him, a man that would shake your hand and have a beer with you after the game and beat the piss out of you during the game.
Absolutely. Very
hard man, good footballer, and somewhat of a legend around those parts.
Sure is.
And just on the first one, Lise, I'll see what I can do with my pen. Bruno. Yeah, the Bruno Rocker one. Actually ran into Bruno's mum, Wendy, who I have flung some feces at over the years in various forms of media for fun, because I get along well with Wendy. She actually announced that she's just finished her tenure at the Moors and Lakes Football Club as Vice President, and has done a great job. So well done to Wendy on all the work she did, and hopefully she gets a bit of a parting gift, a bit of a premiership.
Oh, absolutely. She's just been such an important part of that club for many, many years, has Wendy. So, and just obviously finally on Peter, he, as I said, 250 games. Sorry, yeah. Before I was rudely interrupted. 3 A-grade Best and Fairest awards, life member, and I reckon he's pretty close to the club record, or club games record, I reckon, too, at North Pines. So, well done to all those blokes. Finally, before we head out for this segment, I went to Broadies last week.
Yeah, for the we did a bit of promotion on the past players. I think there's 3 premiership reunions out there, and yeah. So before we venture around to the only Mercedes Jets and all the sites and towns, you were going to shoot like a bit of a mini montage, best of the footy trip. Who are we going to see, Lisa? I mean, there's a lot of legends out there. Will we see like a Chucky Lambie, angry little Chuck Lambie?
Well, yes, we may.
Another little psycho on the field, great bloke off it.
Yes,
what about a Rocket Rod George? He was up and about all morning Saturday.
Yes, we may. Yes.
I'm sure all the stars will be there.
Yes.
Okay, Lisa, over to you.
And on that, so what I did is I had a chat with a few of the Tide Tigers and got their fondest memories from their time at the Broadview Football Club. This is where we fade out and go,
Tide Tigers.
Hi, I'm Shane Huppets. I played at Broadview A1 from 1992 through to 1998.
Hi, I'm Justin Salisbury. I played for a Broadview Football Club from 1997 to 2001.
Yes, Tide Tigers, we started back in 2001. We had a C and D grade reunion that year for the 20-year reunion of all the C and D graders. And we had such a big crowd, we put it on later again that year with the A grade, and it sort of built up from there. We have a membership of over 350. We've about had 120 financial members, which then helps put builds things like what we've got out here I'm standing behind, which is the Past Players Pavilion.
Name is Charlie Lambie. I started my senior career in 1979 playing D grade with Wally Matthews as coach. We got a premiership in our first year, that was fantastic. And then kept on playing season Ds until probably, geez, how does that work out? When I was 19, 37 years later, I was 37 years old when I finished, so yeah, whenever that was. I stopped playing footy. So anyway, would have been 97, so and played about 270 odd games of senior footy and coached for 2 years in 88 and 89, lost the grand final by 10 goals, there you go. And apart from that, I've had a great time at the club, and now I run in the B grade and look after the sponsors.
That's a very hard act to follow. Charlie Wintle, first started playing in 1973, retired in 85 on 192 games. I'm still thinking about coming back to get me 200. Shut up, Lambie. Played A-grade footy most of it and coached B-grade, under 18s, under 16s, and haven't been here since 1997.
Yeah, in that time I played in a 92 B-grade premiership and a 93 B-grade premiership, dropped from the A-grade side both years the week before the grand final, so that was interesting. But anyway, it was all great times, and then played in a losing A-grade grand final to Kilburn. We were red hot favourites and should have won that year. We beat them by about 10 goals 2 weeks before, I remember, and we lost by, I think, 20 points on the grand final day. And then finally won an A-grade premiership in 1998 where we pumped Goodwood Saints, which was fantastic because they pumped us 2 weeks earlier by 10 goals, and we come back 2 weeks later and beat them by 11 goals. So yeah, very fond memories, and live with me forever, and had a great time at Broadview. So yeah, been here today and reminiscing on those memories.
I won a 98 premiership, won a Allen Statham medal, Fitzner medal, 2000 premiership, lost that premiership, night final, devastating final, grand final.
198, though?
Yeah, 198. We said we won 98. No.
We had our best turnout for the year, spectator-wise. We would have had about 200 or 300 here. Plus the advert that we ran last Sunday in the Sunday Mail, which was a big bonus. A lot of the players saw that who normally wouldn't have come to a day like today. So there was a lot of players from the 92 A6 Reserves Premiership side I was able to catch up with. So it was a great day.
Played in eight grand finals, won 6 premierships, and all of them were great. And the losing ones, well, you know, you lose them, but they're still good to be in. So, yeah, and coached in one grand final and lost by 10 goals, as I said before. So,
perennial bridesmaid when I was here. Played in one premiership, which probably a lot of people think I shouldn't have been in. Played in a lot of losing grand finals on Adelaide Oval when we were probably favourites that just couldn't take it to the next level on the big day. Yeah, managed to jag a Division 1 reserve medal and best and fairest the same year, but nah, just pretty happy with the one grand final I got.
Oh, it's one of the highlights of the year. We look to see who we're playing that day. We try and work it in with the amateur league, so we'd like to play a certain team on a certain day, so we can plan for it and make it a big day.
Fondest memories at Broadview? Besides all the on-field stuff, it'd have to be the off-field stuff. Absolute time of my life, great bunch of blokes. It'd have to be some gentleman mornings, absolute embedded in my memory forever, and some of our talent nights, which we took out, a group of us, a couple of years in a row. So yeah, great club, great fun. Thank you.
fondest memories would be talent nights, definitely. Definitely. Apart from premierships that you love to win, talent nights here at Broadview brought the people together. It was fantastic. 21 years of talent nights. And a lady called Jan Matthews started the whole thing back in 1979 and continued for quite a while, and then Chick Coward took it over. But people like that at the club are what we need, and you know, we haven't got it at the moment. So some of those people, can we reinvent some of those people to come back at the club and help us out?
Probably the highlight was the under-18 premiership. Kempy looking over there in the background, but to meet those kids that I'm still friends with now, 25 years on, was fantastic. Probably the highlight or the funniest moment I've seen was my good mate Butch Jones on Thebarton Oval in a final. Got concussed and tried to get up, got up, went down, fell over, and yeah, tried to get up 3 or 4 times. It wasn't funny at the time, but after we knew he was okay, it was hilarious. And sorry, Butch, for taking the mick, but you know, it wouldn't be a show without you getting taken that. Thank you.
Footy trip number 16. Will it be a sweet 16 for a team that's going to look for 16 wins in one season? We are here at the Unley Jets Footy Club, and the Unley Jets, make no mistake about it, they're flying high. Will they be ground back to earth? Will the Jets land this year? Can I possibly make another ridiculous Jet cliche? I don't know, it's been a great night at the Unley Jets Footy Club. Time for me to take off. Whoosh.
Okay, well, it's President Chat time, and with me now I have the President of the Unley Mercedes Jets Football Club, Mr. Rod Stewart, and boy, we're going to have some fun with that later on. Rod, welcome to the Roots.
Thanks, Lisa, very much.
Now, we know that on-field has been awfully successful so far this year. How are things going off-field?
Well, the on-field is a reflection of what's happening off-field, and it's been happening for a number of years at the club. So this is not a culmination, but certainly a part of the building process that we've had for a number of years. And very young club, off-field, on-field, obviously, but a lot of support from both juniors and seniors all the way through the club. So it's been great.
Now, as everyone out there in grassroots land would know, we incorporated a partial new name into the club this year. We're now the Unley Mercedes Jets, incorporating the Mercedes College, which of course is just down the road.
Yep, indeed.
And around the corner. Tell us a bit behind how that eventuated and how it's going so far this year.
History of that is we have just naturally over the last few years attracted a lot of Mercedes guys. So we had a number of guys in the club. Mercedes was looking to establish a footy club as part of their old scholars, and so it's a fairly natural fit that they already had 30 plus guys here. So they came to look to us to say, well, we can bring a few more guys here, so let's work to a merger and join their interests. We remain a community football club, but Mercedes is part of our natural area, so it's been a good fit.
So if it proves absolutely successful and I guess becomes, I don't know whether it's actually official yet, are you going to look at incorporating any blue, green or yellow into the, well, we've got blue in there, but any green or yellow into the current Jets scheme?
That's what we're talking about at the moment, as our we've got KPIs, we've got things we're going to measure how the performance goes. They're all the things that are sort of up for discussion. But the primary thing is that we remain a community footy club. The primary thing we want to recognise Mercedes' involvement and input into the club, because there's so many seniors already here now. So we want to make a happy marriage over the time. So there's room for both interests, if you like.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, you've said that it's brought a fair few fellas on the field. How much extra off-field support has it brought in with the club?
That's something we're building on. We're looking, this is a long-term plan.
Yep.
There's things going to happen over here. It broadens our base of players, of people interested in the community, so that's something we're working towards. Yeah, that'll all evolve as the years go by.
Now, fair enough, and as I said, obviously you can't run a club without dollars. Any sponsors that you'd like to give a special shout out to?
Well, we can see our major sponsors up there. We've been very supportive with Mercedes Silk this year. The Torrens Arms Hotel, the TA, down the road, very supportive. But that board up there reflects a number of senior and junior parents and business interests, and that's frankly the lifeblood of the footy club these days, as everybody well knows.
Well, as I said, it sounds like it's all going swimmingly, both on and off the field. We don't think we need to wish you that much luck for the rest of this year, because I think you'll make it quite easily.
Well, we'll see. Well, we hope, and not just this year. We're a very young club. That's the the key, and that we're lucky to be an average age of 21 throughout the 3 grades.
Fantastic. So hopefully you'll keep them for a few years to come.
We've got a foundation.
No, fantastic. Thanks for having a chat.
Thanks, Lisa. Cheers.
Well, as always, readers, I've secured an interview with the coach. Of course, this time it's the coach of the Unley Jets Football Club, the great man, Troy Hall.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. A few tricky ones to start with. Why do they call you Duds?
Well, as a little boy, I couldn't say good, and it came out as Dud, and it just stuck.
Isn't it great when shitty nicknames stick?
It's lovely.
Now, any truth to the rumour that you were a big part of the selection committee on the Team of the Decade, 2000-2009, and just slipped yourself in there as ruck rover?
That's right, and probably should have been captain as well, I would have thought.
Fair enough. Now, just having a look, if you just pan across that Team of the Decade, or was it too tight in the corner? Troy Hall, ruck rover. Someone like a Mickey Nolan, who I got to know through the Gaelic footy, is he still floating around the club at all? Does he come down and have a look?
Mick's been out a couple of times this year, but yeah, he works away in Western Australia, so we don't see a lot of Mick these days.
And anyone else from that team still actually playing?
There is a guy, Nathan Chettle. Yes, he's still he's one of our captains. James Cabaz, another captain. He's the rover in that side. And as you see at full forward, a bloke that deserted us, Paris Fowden, he plays up for your Adler. He's still playing.
Yeah, is he trained down here still? Or?
No.
See you later, Paris. So you can just text that one out. Anyway, don't you love questions without notice?
That's it.
All right, let's talk about your season, mate, because the Jets are flying high. Yeah, we've said it again. 14-1, mate, but not just 14-1 in the A's. Probably it's your depth that excites me when thinking about you and your premiership chances, because you've got the depth there with the Bees, 14-1, and the C's also 14-1. So things going beautifully.
Yeah, that's right. We've got plenty of numbers around the place and some good quality in the grades below, but that's certainly been tested in the last 2 or 3 weeks where we've had a lot of guys out. But yeah, it's good to keep winning, so it's good club feel at the moment.
Yep. So let's talk about some of the players. You don't want to give away all your secrets, but I know Ollie Moss is a name that seems to be a bit synonymous in the best players each week, and someone we talk about all the time in the media. Who else floating around the club this year has had a great year?
I think our captain in Jimmy Cabaz, he's been a fairly consistent performer and a bit of a standout for us. But just across the board, we've had a lot of good players. Nathan Chettle, he's another little rover that gets in as a crack, and you know, we've had some guys up forward step up this year with, as you mentioned, Ollie started off really well, but he suffered an injury, and a guy that came across from Mitcham in James O'Sullivan's kicked pretty close to 40-odd goals now, which is pretty handy for us as well.
Yep, certainly having an impact there. Now, I recently took part in a poll. Another question without notice that I'm sure you'll love. And within the poll, the 2 teams tipped off to play in the grand final were Unley Mercedes Jets, your good self, and actually Scotch to come through. How do you see your potential opposition? I mean, you don't want to say too much, but I guess, but Salisbury West sitting second, Scotch sitting third, and a couple others there in the 5?
Yeah, I reckon obviously Scotch and Salisbury are good sides, but yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think Scotch have probably got the edge over some of those sides. They got some big key forwards that kick a lot of goals.
And Will Thorpe's, yep.
Yeah, they kick a lot of goals for them, and you know they get plenty of the footy. So yeah, I think Golden Grove might have dropped off the pace a bit the last couple of weeks, but I still think they're a fairly dangerous side come finals time.
They certainly have. A lovely segue, because it was Golden Grove that were the last team to beat you, if my memory serves me correctly, and I just looked at it before we started filming. It was round 5, I think, when Golden Grove knocked you off. So you've won 10 in a row. Do you need to lose a game before finals? Is it, you know, do you subscribe to that theory?
No. We've lost our game, and that gave the boys a bit of a shake-up, and just showed that we weren't unbeatable, and you know, but they've stuck together pretty well since then. No, we're not aiming on losing too many more, so we'd like to finish top and give ourselves the week off come finals time and watch the others slug it out. So
no worries. Now, I mean, we've spoken to the boss. Rod Stewart. Is his name really Rod Stewart?
That's it. Great singer.
Great singer, crappy president. Just kidding. Doing great things. Doing great things. And speaking of those great things, the linkage with Mercedes, it's been criticised by some. I don't know why, but I reckon it must be doing great things for the club.
Oh yeah, you know, it's one of those things that's sort of in the interim phase at the moment, and they had a lot of guys involved at our footy club,
yep,
you know, over previous years. So they were looking to get some identity of themselves, and obviously with so many of them out here became a pretty good length for us. And yeah, they've really stepped up, some of those young guys from the school as well this year.
And I think it's great, just personally, in my opinion, is to give the school a bit of ownership of a local football club that they can feel a part of, and I think it's only going to hold you in good stead to put you back up through the divisions as the years go by. Look, last thing I really need to ask you about is there seem like a lot of odd cats out there tonight, a couple of different sausages. Tell us, who are the hardest blokes to coach at this club? There must be a few, and I know they're looking at us right now, waiting to hear their names. Who are they?
Oh, there's heaps. I think you've spoken to a couple of them. Young Johnny, he's a different unit. There's another lad that actually wasn't here tonight, and his name's Ryan Wilson, and what makes him tick, I'm not quite sure. And you know, you can't let a few of the old blokes go either. There's a bloke out here called Jim West, and
Westy.
Hard to coach a bloke that's 48 and thinks he knows everything. So I'm
Wouldn't
sure
give us an interview.
No. I'm sure he'd be glad to hear that. So.
Beautiful work. So, mate, like most coaches don't like saying this, but it's premiership or bust. That's the goal, isn't it?
Look, we had a goal at the start of the year to definitely play off in a grand final, and that hasn't changed. So when you get to a grand final, you have a chance. So
anyway, anything can happen on grand final.
We'll see what happens.
No worries, mate. Well, we're hoping to get back out and get some footage of you in the finals, and should you make grand final day, we certainly will be there to cheer you on.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Nick Stewart, A grade, half forward.
Michael Guerin, B grade, half back.
John Forsyth, C grade, back pocket. Thanks, mate.
Best thing about the club, getting a look at Jesse Duval, because he's such a handsome fella.
Well, best thing about the club is when Nick Perch kicks goals.
As a party animal, the best things are the Jets nights where we go out on the piss and chase some sexy girls and all around have some good nights out. Real good fun.
Most of the blokes, probably Jesse Duval, because he's so handsome.
Have to go with Nick Perch again. Peachy. Perch. Peach. Why? Oh, fancies himself, I reckon. Yeah.
You're actually interviewing right now. You got Stewie just here. Definitely by far the most attractive boy out here.
Why do you think that?
No, I don't think that. He thinks he is. I mean, I think I'm the most attractive guy, but you know, what can you do?
Definitely a cheater. Because he's a cheater.
I wasn't quite expecting that.
Gerbil, because Stewie thinks he's ugly and Will Batty thinks he has no teeth, apparently.
I would definitely say a cougar because his mum is smoking. Like she is sexy. And hoping you're watching this, and your mum's hot.
Going to make the cut. I'm here with Rod Stewart. We've had a couple of West Ends. It's time to sing a duet. What do you want? I was going to bring you a broken arrow. Who else? Gonna bring you? What was the other one? If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, I can't believe I licked your face. Grassroots footy coming to a club near you, and I promise I won't make you a president. It's a once-off deal.
week because every single mark was an absolute beauty from the Jets. They sure know how to fly high. Oh, have we used that joke tonight? Anyway, got the... Get it? Some of my best work. You can see me on Tuesday nights. Okay, I've got my three best and some guy happens to be standing there. I've got Denzo, I've got Croc, I've got Paul and some bloke named John. We're going to tear for some beer. What do you reckon of Denzo's mark? Yeah. What do you reckon of Croc's mark? Yeah. Hey, what do you reckon of Paul's mark? Yeah. Did John take a mark?
Yeah, I did, man.
As much as I'd love to give it to you for incentive, John, I think we go to Croc tonight. We'd like to thank West End. We'd like to thank the ugly Mercedes Jets Football Club, I get that right eventually, for having us out tonight. Fantastic club, fantastic blokes, and we'll see you in a club next week.
Oh, Lisa, it was an interesting night at the Ugly Mercedes Jets Football Club.
Absolutely.
A few camera and technical difficulties that you people don't understand what we have to go through, but gee, it was we had a lot of fun with the boys and great numbers out of the session, wasn't there?
Yes, there sure was. God, they get some great. Yeah, they do really get some good numbers.
And part of that might be due to the fact the oval. There's a few factors. Obviously, being beautifully led by Troy Hall, as you would have seen. The oval is in fantastic condition. The fact that Mitcham Girls High School is just next door, just a stone throw away, and they have the $10 meals here on a Thursday night, perhaps.
Consumers across the road.
Yeah, beautiful work.
Okay, what we're going to do, something a bit different for the last segment. There's 3 games to go before the finals dwell upon us, so we thought we'd just, I guess, go through who's playing who and who's most likely to finish where.
Okay, well, I'm going to start off with the Greyhound Racing Division 1, and we'll be about 5 minutes on this, I reckon, so yeah. I just did that beautifully, didn't I? I was sending messages all over the place. Division 1 comes down to a race at 6 now. You've got Ross Trevor, for the first time in a long time, sitting outside the 6, just outside the 6, and Goodwood Saints have moved in. It all comes down to one pivotal game. Of course, Div 1 do actually have the bye this week, but that game is in 2 weeks. It's Goodwood versus Ross Trevor at Campbelltown Oval. The winner of that will finish 5th. The top 4 will be Henley, St Peters, Salisbury North and Gazer. The positional jockeying of 3rd and 4th between Salisbury North and Gazer is very difficult to predict. I think Gazer are actually still going to sneak in and get a double chance. Yeah,
that draw early in the year is either going to help or hinder Ross Trevor, isn't it, at the end of the day?
It certainly will. I think it might be a huge hindrance and it's going to cost them their position. 2 Goodwood Saints by that draw, which wasn't that much earlier in the year, it was last week.
Oh, yes, it's right.
Still a little earlier in the year.
Oh, yes, that's right, it sure was.
7 divisions, Lisa, so we're going to fly through a bit.
Seems like ages ago, okay.
Probably that key game in 2 weeks' time is the thing that's going to decide it, in my opinion. Div 2, Port Districts, Adelaide Uni and Tea Gully are racing 3 for the premiership for mine. Portland have won a lot of close games and done very well. They'll probably finish in 4th, already on 9 wins. But it's Modbury on 7 wins and a draw, all the way down to 8th. Prince Alfred on 7 wins and 8 losses. So Prince Alfred, Walkerville, Flinders Park and Modbury all vying for 1 spot. I'm going to put my money on a team that is yet to be in the 5 this year, and that is Flinders Park. They will get there in the last round of the year with a win over Old Ignatians, and Shawnee Jackson and the boys will have achieved their goal of making the finals. It's a big tip, but I'm going with that. What do you think?
That is a fair tip. That is a fairly big tip. Walkerville have a tough run home too.
Yep. Yeah, they do. Well, yeah, I haven't got time to go over who everyone plays, but read the book. Right. Division 3 now. I've been told, getting towards the end of the year by the great Gary McIntosh, that I need to heed my words very carefully and be very selective on what I say. Don't give anyone any ammunition. But Smosh, Seaton, Kilburn and Paynham have already got 10 wins each and will be in the top 4 in any particular order. Who knows? Hard to say. It's that 5th spot again that's difficult to decide. Mitcham on 8 wins, Salisbury on 8 wins, Athelston on 7 wins. You'll need probably 10 to get in, it's crazy. And I'm actually going to go with, based on the draw, Mitcham to get in, because Mitcham have Pembroke in round 18, whereas Athelston have Kilburn in round 18. Athelston will have their heart broken in the final round of the year.
Yeah, which will be a shame for Athelston because they started off really, really well as well. Okay. Oh, that was Div 3. So let's move on to Division 4. And of course, we're at the Unley Mercedes Jets Football Club tonight.
They will finish top. You heard it here first.
Well, look, on 14 wins, won't lose top spot unless they lose to Salisbury West and Salisbury West win their other 2 games.
They did smash Salisbury West last time, didn't they?
So there you go. Salisbury West on 12 points, tough run home, Scotch away, Unley and Plimpton. So Scotch could take second spot based on that. They've got Salisbury West, Greenacres and Heckies. Now, Golden Grove, as I said, riddled with injuries, but unlikely to lose fourth position, as they've got a fairly good run home with Elizabeth, Greenacres and Para Hills.
And a huge percentage.
And a good percentage as well. Pulteney fighting to keep fifth. Run home, Unley, Plimpton, Elizabeth, so they can't afford any hiccups there. On the verge, as I said before, finals, Ruffy, did you just hiccup?
Yeah.
Okay. Finals, Ruffy, enjoy giving everyone a heart attack, do the Red Dogs, can also grab fifth, playing Para Hills, Pulteney and Salisbury West. Salisbury West, of course, you're thinking, okay, they're playing second, but it is a grand final replay, and as I said, with the return of, or the possible return of Jimmy Smith, it's certainly every possibility they can do that. Look, Heckies have got a very tough draw, but with their form, even if the dominoes did fall their way, they would probably just make up numbers in the 5 if they made it.
Heckies won't make it.
No. Div 5, once again, a very annoyingly tight, fit fight for fifth.
Tight fit.
Thankfully, not as tough as last year. 0.6 separates Brahma Lodge and Adelaide Lutheran, so both clubs will be looking for percentage in these last 3 games. Brahma Lodge have West Croydon, Glenunga and Fitzroy, so probably a bit of a tougher draw than Adelaide Lutheran, who have Westminster, Fitzroy and Hope Valley. So based on that, you'd think that Adelaide Lutheran might be able to make up the percentage and have that first week of finals off.
I think they will.
Yep. 2.2% separates 3rd to 5th, all on 9 wins. Kenilworth have Rosewater, West Croydon and Glenunga. Glenunga have Fitzroy, Brahma Lodge and Kenilworth, and we have North Haven, Westminster and Adelaide Lutheran. You said West Croydon, sitting up our clacker on 8 wins, but
likely they've got a tough draw.
They have Brahma Lodge, Kenilworth and North Haven, so they probably need to rely on other results too much to get in there.
So you're saying Hope Valley will be playing finals this year?
Oh, look, of course, I would like to say that we are, yes. I would like to think that, and look, it probably all really comes down to this weekend.
Yeah.
If we can't beat North Haven at home this weekend, we will be fighting for 5th. If we can beat them, I'd like to think that we would get a home final.
Bit of a Lisa Wright derby, didn't you used to be out at North Haven?
Yes, many moons ago. There you go. Division 6, Woody South, 12 wins. With that, you think they wouldn't lose top spot. They've got Blackfriars and Wood Farm in the units on the way home. Mozzies and Blackfriars, both on 10 points, 0.03 percentage difference. The last game of the year, which is between these 2 teams, will decide who gets the home final if all the other games sort of go to plan. Mozzies have
which
units.
They don't.
No, that's right. Mozzies have the units and CLG besides that, and the Hounds have Woody South and the units. So they both, we've got a common denominator there, and with Dutchie's Mob, who knows what you're going to get? They're like a box of chocolates. So the Tossers and Colonel Light, both on 9 points, with 1 and a bit percent separating them there.
9 wins,
yeah. Yep. Trinity have got Lockleys, Uni and Colonel Light. So bit of a funny one there. Colonel Light Gardens, Units, Mozzies and Trinity. So again, the last game of the year, okay, so round 18 between these 2 teams, could see who's playing at home, and chances are that 1, 2, 3 and 4 will be playing each other the next week in that order as well.
One thing also about Div 6, as of late, results have not been very easy to predict.
Okay, well here's my roughie, okay? Forget either Trinity or Colonel Light Gardens. My tip is Lockleys will make the 5. And they could even snatch 3rd. They're sitting on 8 wins, but have Trinity, Houghton and Ingle Farm. Okay, so that's potentially 3 wins, and 3 decent wins there. Either a hiccup by Colonel Light or Trinity, we'll see them sneak in, and even snatch 3rd, as I said before, if Blackfriars lose 2 out of their last 3. So, how's that?
Yeah, let me help you out with Division 7.
Division 7.
Mitchell Park.
Self-explanatory. Okay, week 1 of finals off. Tea Tree Gully and Henley both on 11 wins. Fair percentage though to Tea Tree Gully. Okay. Tea Tree Gully have the better run home with Smithfield, Anglevale and Shock. Henley have got Mitchell Park, so you would guess there that Tea Tree Gully would keep that 2nd position. Okay. Anglevale on 9 wins, sitting in 4th, have Shock, Gullies and Mobbery. Probably won't shift, okay, unless Henley drop 2 out of the last 3. And Anglevale have got a decent percentage as well. Okay, so they probably won't move. So fighting for fifth, okay, is North Pines and Flinders Park, both on 7 wins. North Pines have Flinders Park, Uni and Smithfield. Okay, and Flinders Park have Mitchell Park in round 17 and Henley in round 18. So that would mean that North Pines will get that reprieve there. The Spider-Men will crawl into 5th place. Ah, get it?
Because they're spiders.
Anyway.
That was huge.
That was our take on what might happen come round 18 and leading into finals. Great night.
Oh, it was a huge night.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, do we know where we are next week, Lisa?
I reckon next week we might be out at the units.
The units?
The units.
With the white horse riding Sean Dutchy Holland, and looking forward to trotting out there. It's been a huge night here at Mercedes Jets Football Club. Thanks to Troy Hall and all the guys.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back next week, won't we, Lisa?
We sure will.
Let's hope so. See you, Rooters.
Righty, bye.
Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian Cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy. That's good.